Okay, are we back? Are we frozen? Can y'all hear us? What happened? 0 people on. Mama, I may have destroyed coffee time.
Oh no.
Where are... There's one person. Hey! Anybody here? The numbers are there, but there's no comments. Hey, Jan! Can you see us? Can you hear us? Folks, can y'all hear us? We're back. Thank y'all for coming back.
Oh wow.
Hi again, Samantha. Can you hear us now? Is it frozen, Susan? Tell me it's not frozen again. We're back. Are we back? Can y'all hear us? Thumbs up if you can hear me. I think your internet connection was lost. You're back. Thank goodness. Michael, can you hear us? Hi, Peggy. Hey, Vicky. I'm here. Thank you, Vicky, for coming back. Hey, Linda. Thank you for being here. Finally, it just said your video failed. Just hang it up and start it over, it said, basically. Hello, Kathy. Can y'all hear us? I had to reset 3 times. No luck. I think maybe, I don't know. Maybe there was a solar flare. Hello again, John and Momma from New Jersey. Linda, can y'all hear us? Yes, we can hear you. Good. Thank goodness. Everything is fine. Good. That's what we like to hear. So here's what we did. Here's what, if you're just catching this video, I just done another video and I started out with doing cornbread in the microwave.
And it's a little more than mixed up than the ring.
I don't know who did that, Mama.
You don't know who did that. You want a knife to see?
Yeah, let's get a knife and see what we got. So this was the quick and easy cornbread in the Micro Pro Grill. We talked about it last night, and I had not done it. Mama, have you ever done cornbread in here? I know we have brownies. I know we have brownies.
And I've not used the ring with it. None of it either.
Yes, we can hear you good. So here's what we did. I started out, I mixed up some cornbread in this little bowl right here and it is 1 cup of cornmeal, about 2 tablespoons of self-rising flour, and I put buttermilk in it, and I stirred it up. And I put too much in here because it flowed my little ring. But I was feeling it pretty full, wasn't I? So this was in there for 9 minutes.
I don't know what you put in.
I put it in there for 8.
So I put it in there for 2 more, so it's 10.
10 minutes. So this is 10-minute cornbread in the Micro Pro Grill. And look how brown it is. That's what I'm most impressed with. This out here is no fault of the Micro Pro. This is all my fault because I overflowed it. I just put too much in it.
You want to try to take it up?
We should put about half. Should put about half. Now it is hot, but look, even though, I want to prove this point to y'all, or let y'all see this. Even though I overfilled it, and it was my fault, even though I overfilled it, overflowed the whole thing.
The top off.
Look how clean this is. Even though it overflowed in there, that's clean and ready to go. In the ring, we're not showing them, Mama. So here's my little mess. And here is I don't want to cut my silicone ring, but you see that good crunchy, crusty top layer? And then I'm going to cut into it as soon as I get this ring dug out of this mess. But even as a mess, it's not a bad mess. Even being a mess, it's coming right up. So I should not have filled it full. I did fill it full.
Ooh.
Mama's got those hands made out of asbestosis. You can touch the hot stuff, can't you, Mama? So there's the ring. See, it survived very easily. Connect. Even though it overflowed, it still comes right off. It didn't make a mess. It just made an overflow. And there it is. So that'll be easy to clean up, no problem. Now to try the product. 10-minute cornbread in the Micro Pro, and it's a big piece of cornbread. If we make in an iron skillet, it just comes out to these flowers. It just comes out about another inch around. I know that makes a difference, trust me, but You wouldn't have all these scraps. Normally you'd have a pretty little round piece of cornbread. But I'm going to give it a little taste. It's delicious. It's just as good as... It's just as good as the orange skillet. And it's a lot quicker. Look there. And look how brown in the microwave. Who would have thought a microwave could do that? Well, you can if you have the right product. Now that is done. Flaky. I mean, it's as good as Mama. Give the verdict.
It's good. I had to have butter on mine.
Mama had to cheat. That's some good cornbread. You can't beat 10-minute cornbread. I don't care who you
I'll
are.
cut the center, see how it is.
Let's see what the center looks like. Probably you don't need 10 minutes if you don't feel it's so full.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
But I thought one cup, I hated not to use the cornmeal, and I thought, well, I'm gonna fill it on up. I'm gonna put this lid on it. It won't do nothing. And it didn't do anything too bad. There you are, folks. Done. Look at that flaky, delicious goodness. Oh, that cornbread's hot. Mama, here's you something to put butter on. Those other pieces was cooled down. See, folks, it's done in the middle. That is some good cornbread. 10-minute cornbread right there it is. And I'm going to guess the original 8 would have been good if I just filled it about half full and let it rise up to the top.
It would have, because what I was trying to do is get this brown, and it's not going to brown without the heat.
And someone asked me last night about cook time. Now I'm going to tell you, cook time with anything that you put in your microwave is up to your microwave. My cook time may be 3 minutes less than yours, or my cook time may be 3 minutes longer than yours, depending on your microwave. Princess, it does look good and it tastes good. If you just put down this cornbread beside of our regular cornbread, I couldn't taste the difference, could you, Mama? And I didn't put an egg in this.
You didn't?
No, I didn't want it to rise too much. It would be perfect to throw in there with.
I put the egg in. You used a whole cup of meal or a pint?
Use a cup of meal and two tablespoons of self-rising flour. And here's the bottom. Let me show you the bottom, because some of y'all may want to know. That's the bottom. Brown, delicious. This will be great. You just open up a can of soup beans, or you want to have it with a little bit of chili, or...
That's quicker than trying to fry cornbread.
Mm-hmm. And especially in the summer when you don't want to heat the whole house.
Perfect.
With the oven. It's delicious, Mama.
Mm-hmm.
We may not need your orange skillet anymore.
Oh, you can't get rid of my orange. I keep them for keepsakes.
We'll still use the orange skillet. That's a fact. But anyway, so I mixed up the cornbread. I put it in there. I set it originally for 8 minutes because I didn't know what it would take. And I overflowed it. It came out in there, and Mama put it in there for 2 more minutes, which was a total of 10 minutes. And it's delicious, and I'll be doing it again. I'll do it better next time.
Less meal.
But I was letting y'all help me try out these new microphones. And y'all said it made a popping noise, and then it froze, and it went off.
Didn't work right.
So we'll try it again, just not tonight. Y'all have helped so much. Thank you. Now, folks, it's not that unusual for Mama and I to fix one thing and eat it for supper.
No, it's not.
For us to fix cornbread and just eat cornbread, this ain't the first.
I wasn't expecting no supper, so it's a treat.
It's not unusual for us to do one thing like that. Now I want cornbread. Lisa, it's delicious. It's a good little treat. There's the old faithful gnat. People, I think there might have been a month that we didn't have a gnat in the house.
Is it back?
There he is. Name him, Mama. Just name him. We'll claim him as a pet.
I'll have to buy feed for him.
Maggie, you got a brother. Come and meet him. Mama, I think based on my mess, I think you could just make the whole thing full of cornmeal. Why couldn't you?
Well, where the lid and the bottoms turns brown, but if you don't have it on these pieces here, it's not going to turn brown. That's where the problem is.
And that is a good round piece of cornbread.
Mm-hmm. That's a good size.
It really is. You gonna fix this for your lunch sometime now, Mama?
What, cornbread?
Mm-hmm.
If I get to craving it, I will.
It's easy peasy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We've talked about cornbread. We can move on. Love milk and cornbread. Oh, yes. That's one of the highlights of making cornbread is hoping you'll have enough left over to have milk and bread. Now, let's talk about milk and bread.
That's what we have for supper sometimes too.
I have heard various things on milk and bread that I've never tried. Now, we like sweet milk bread with some little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. That's what I eat. Mama, do you eat salt and pepper on yours? My daddy always ate it that way. And that's what we like. Sweet milk, salt, and pepper. Some of y'all said you like buttermilk. I love cornbread. Hello, John and Mom from Ohio. Hello, Camilla. Some of y'all like buttermilk with it. I love buttermilk, but I don't really like it as the best with my cornbread when I'm putting it in it. But now some of y'all say you can put onions in it. Am I making that up, or did some of y'all tell me that? Hey, Jill Johnson, thank you for jumping on. One of my favorite things to eat is milk and cornbread. Can't make a meal. You can make a meal like Kim? Yeah, we can too. I love it. Sometimes after we've had, cornbread for something else, that is the next night supper, is just the cornbread milk. I wonder how it would cook pancakes and French toast. Karen, it cooks French toast wonderfully because I made French toast in it not long ago, but I didn't use the ring for the French toast. I just put the bread in and let it grill. Pancakes, I've never tried a pancake in it, but you've taught me into it. We'll try that. I mean, that'd be something good to try, Mama. We can fix pancakes one night.
We can.
In the Micro Pro and see what it does. I don't know. The only thing about it, I don't know how you would, when it bubbles and you turn it over. And I don't think it'd be thick in that. Well, if you put it on, I don't know. We'd have to try that. I don't know if you could put that lid down on that wet pancake batter.
Mm-mm.
Mama said,
Oh,
But it would be like it put it on the griddle because it would just be upside down.
yeah.
We just need to try it. We just need to try it. Just like I did on microphones and messed up the whole thing. I thought I destroyed the whole internet. I didn't know what I'd done. Sweet milk, pound of cornbread, sausage link was one of my favorite suppers. I've never had it that way, but a sausage link sounds good with it. I tell you how I have had cornbread and made a meal on it, and I still would do it today. I mean, I've done it before, but I would do it. By the way, I got my micro grill cooker today. Can't wait to try it out. Well, Elizabeth, tonight's the night. Make you some cornbread. I love, which it's not so far-fetched because it's like a corn dog without a weenie. I like cornbread mustard. Just a pound of cornbread, cut off a piece, squirt a little mustard on it, and eat it. I love mustard and cornbread. My dad liked cornbread and milk. Lori, it's a southern thing. I don't know if it's worldwide. Onions and cornbread and milk, yum. So is that something you do eat, Sandy? Or is that something I just say and you like the sound of it? But I've heard different people say, oh, and put a little bit of cornbread with molasses in it. Oh, Sandra, molasses in the cornbread mix before you bake it? That sounds good.
I love molasses.
Cornbread and tomato soup. Oh, yeah, Mike. We eat that too. Cornbread muffins with tomato soup. Love it. You ever make potato pancakes with leftover mashed potatoes and corn? Wait, go back. Or corn fritters with cornbread mix. Yes.
Cornbread fritters.
Yes, Deborah, we make cornbread fritters. I did the little ones not too long ago for y'all, and I just done little bite-sized ones. Those are good for parties too. You don't have to use leftover mashed potatoes. You can mix up some potatoes and put the onions in instant potatoes. You can even use instant, or you can use, I call it cheating the potatoes a little bit, but you can just take a small amount of leftover mashed potatoes, add a little bit of instant potatoes with it, and mix them up, and you can have it. You don't know the difference. I don't know the difference. Cornbread and butter with milk, cinnamon and sugar. Well, I've never tried that either.
Oh.
Who said that? Who said that? Pamela? I've never tried it with cinnamon like that. Maggie's brother's getting on my nerves, Mama.
I thought we was rid of them.
You know, I thought last week we was rid of him, but I think he was sitting over there somewhere laughing at us.
Well, I don't doubt that.
Or because he showed back up tonight. We've had some 70-degree weather. Grass is green.
But it's just one each time. It's strange.
I mean, we're not overwhelmed with it. I only think there's one. Maybe there's three. And it just seems like I'm not seeing them everyone. Ever make lacy cornbread? Vicky, we love lacy cornbread. Just make it thinner and pour it in a skillet. And there's something called hot water cornbread. We don't make that, but I've seen hot water cornbread made. And my granny used to make hot water cornbread. I like toasted cornbread with butter. Yeah, toasted. I guess that's what we're having. It's brown on both sides. How do you mix potatoes and cornbread mix?
I don't mix them. I fix tater fritters and then cornbread fritters.
Right. It's cornbread fritters.
I
Fried.
fix my cornbread and just fry it in a skillet.
Tammy, that's a must. Cornbread and beef stew is a must.
Oh, yeah.
David, cornbread with peanut butter? I don't see a
Never
thing wrong with
heard
it. Never have done it. I don't see anything wrong with it. Cornbread and pancake syrup. Now that would be good. Do you ever make cornmeal mush?
No.
It's so easy and good with syrup on it. Sheila, is that like a oatmeal? Like you would just stir it on top of the stove? Anybody know how to make mush? Mama, do you know how to make mush?
I've never heard that.
Hey, Mama, what kind of flour? This is a Hey, Mama. Thank you,
Oh.
Calissa, for... Hey, Mama, what kind of flour begins talking in the springtime?
What kind of flour?
Yeah, what kind of flour begins talking in the springtime? Think about it, Mama. Think about talking.
Tulips.
Mama!
Is that right?
Calissa, she got it. Tulips
Tulips.
start talking in the spring. Cornbread and white gravy.
I've never had cornbread and
Never had cornbread and gravy. Well, no, I'll take that back. Let me rescind that last motion. I have had country style steak and cornbread, and it had gravy on it, and I'm sure I ate the cornbread with that, and it would, I remember that being okay, but I've never made it without it being a part of another.
Now, gravy and biscuits I love.
Okay. Carol says she's from North Ohio, and her family always ate cornbread with sweet milk. So good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carol Atkins. Thank you for watching, and thank you for sharing. We have always, growing up as a kid, my granny had a glass. And I've seen it since I was an adult and after she passed away. I don't know where it is now, but it was just that's got me wondering. I want that glass. It was a.
Oh,
If y'all have one, you'll remember. It was a clear glass, but it had pink and it had blue on it, and it had a little verse on it. It was Wee Willie Winkle. Do y'all remember Wee Willie Winkle? And it seemed like he was in a night shirt and a nightcap, and he had a lantern, and it was something about upstairs, downstairs. It was a little verse on it. And that was a glass she would get me to drink out of a lot. And if we had cornbread and milk, she would put my little Wee Willie Winkle glass out, and she'd fill it full of cornbread and milk. And that was my. What is that glass? I have seen it not too awful long ago. But it had to have been something she got in oatmeal or something. But it was called wheat. I'll have to look that up. They sell cornmeal mush at the grocery store. Kathy, do they? It comes in a roll.
I've never tried.
You just cut and slice a slice of it. Kathy, that must be something that we haven't had here. Mush is cooked grits, cold, that you made. Now, I have heard of that, Charlene. I've even heard of deep fried grits where you cut them in pans. Is that the same as mush, only there's a cornmeal mush too? Y'all educate me here. Mush jar glass was cornbread and milk and with pepper. Oh, mason jar glass. Yes, Cora. Yes, had that many times. Mama's got some mason jars, which they're not real mason jars because they don't have the ring all the way around the top, but they got a handle on them. And there were jelly jars. I still have that glass. Carolyn Jewel Davis, the Wee Willie Winkle glass. I want to find my granny.
Got it?
She says she still got it.
Oh, wow.
I still have that glass. Does anybody else have the Wee Willie Winkle glass? It was a little kid's nursery rhyme, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I love cornbread and sweet milk and sweet potatoes. Now that sounds good. Could you please tell more about the microwave pan you cook the corn pone in? Yeah, it's the Macro Pro Grill. It's on sale this month in Mama's link. Now I usually put, I'm going to do a disclaimer here, I usually put when we're doing a Tupperware demo, and I'll say Tupperware update. So I'm just doing this because someone asked about it. We use this a lot, but this is the silicone ring. It's dirty now from cornmeal, but
We overfilled it.
we overfilled it. I did. It's $20 no matter what the price of the Macro Pro Grill is. I haven't seen it on sale. But this part here, and it's got the little feet, and it's got this, and it grills from the top and the bottom. It's normally $199. And I have to say, and some of y'all may disagree, it's worth every penny of $199. It has saved us hours and hours of time just on stuff like this cornbread. This cornbread was 10 minutes in and out. You can do a grilled cheese in 3 minutes. You can do, now I'm talking about our microwave numbers. I can do pork chops in 15 minutes. I can do quesadillas in 3 minutes. The list just goes on and on. We did meatloaf in it Sunday in, tell me, Mama, 20 minutes?
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
And then the glaze we put over it for 3 more minutes.
For 3 more minutes. And that was meatloaf. Done on Sunday dinner. We was done with Sunday dinner in 10 minutes. Meatloaf usually takes 40 minutes in the oven. And it takes 40 minutes to fry it in the skillet. We've done a whole meatloaf. We just filled the whole thing full of meatloaf and made it that thick. And put the grill on it. Done it in 20 minutes once. We can do 4 pork chops in here or 2 big pork chops.
Chicken tenders.
Chicken tenders in like 5 minutes. It's just so quick. And that's what, you're buying time when you're buying this. And you're buying, and you just see me, this has not been washed. You can see the cornbread debris on the side over there. But how hard is that going to be to clean? You're talking about literally, I can take a damp cloth and wipe it out. I can take this paper towel right here, this napkin, and I can wipe this out, and it will be clean enough. I mean, it's clean with a dry Vanity Fair napkin. Ready to go for your next. Now it's got a little grease in it. I will wash it with real, But I'm talking about there's no cleanup. You can cook stuff healthy in it because you don't have to use oil. I never. Mama, do you put any oil when you make meat?
No, we've not been. I put some when I fixed that meatloaf patties because I sprayed the bread and the cream and stuff I put in it, but it didn't. I think
if we make
come out a bit.
We make hamburgers in it, we don't use a drop of nothing. It's just the ground chuck.
Meatloaf, the next time I'm not going to try nothing on it. I'm just going to see it.
Right.
Self-grease from the...
If I do pork chops in it, I don't put a drop of grease in it. If I do hamburger patties, I don't put a drop of grease. When I do chicken in it, I don't put a drop of nothing. If I did put a drop of anything, I put 2 or 3 drops of olive oil. Be done. You don't have to use anything. It doesn't smell up your kitchen. You know when you fix hamburgers, and they're wonderful.
Years ago in your apartment, you wouldn't. You fixed them one time and said it smelled.
I fixed hamburgers one time in my apartment when I lived in an apartment. And I brought the hamburger meat to Mama. I said, here, y'all can have that. I ain't doing no more in my apartment. I smelled it for 3 days and I will not do it. You go out and you come back in and you start burning candles or you spray something and then the next day I still get a whiff of it. I don't want that. You don't have that with this. It's in the microwave. It's got a vent in it. Plus you got this lid so there's no splattage. Splattage, that's a word, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you made it up right
there. In case you don't know what splattage is, splattage is this whatever's all over the inside your microwave, whatever you cooked.
Splatters.
Thank you for those stars. Y'all are so kind. Mama, is that not a word? Splattage? It sounds like there should be a word called splattage. Hi, Kathy. Snook, how are you? I'm from Iowa. We don't do cornbread here much. A lot of people don't, but it sure is good. We try to cut back on it. We really do. And this would be a good way to cut back on it, Mama.
Yeah.
Instead of doing a whole well, I don't know, may cut back on the milk and bread too. Oh, Mama, we may have to debate that issue. Go round and round, because I like a little extra cornbread. We will still use our iron skillet. We still do. Now, folks, right here is the very middle. Here's the top, in case you're wondering why it didn't brown. It is right there's the top. I just knocked it off. Here's the top, and here's the bottom. And here's the middle of that cornbread. And you can see it's just done. And just good as any. But back to the Macro Pro Grill. It's normally $199. It's on sale this month for $149. $50 off. The ring is an additional $20. But if you don't want to do cornbread and you don't want to bake, you don't have to have the ring. It's just an extra little thing. And I think I've never done the ring. Yeah, the ring was on sale one time. It's been a while. But even when the Macro Pro Grill is at regular price of $199, the ring is still an additional $20.
That stays that way.
Yeah. It says, I've got a book with Wee Willie Winkle in a book. Nancy, I would love to get a book with. I'll have to look for that. That's just a childhood memory.
It's a little nursery rhyme
It's a nursery rhyme. I just remember reading it on my glass, and it was Wee Willie Winkle runs through the town, upstairs, downstairs, all around. I don't know. I think I misquoted it. But it was just a cute little thing, and that was my glass at my granny's.
So she's got a glass too?
Yeah.
Wow.
And she has a book with it in it. Cornmeal tomato mush.
Ain't
Barbara, now I'll tell you one thing. Oh, I don't know about mush. Love. Absolutely love. Mama, can we have that one now? I love macaroni and tomatoes and cornbread. Oh, man. That makes my mouth water just thinking about it. Macaroni and tomatoes and cornbread. And yes, you could make macaroni and tomatoes in the Macro Pro Grill.
Well, you can use the pasta maker and Tupperwares are great for making.
Yeah. Mama's not the pasta makers now. Oh, Rebecca, I am so sorry. Everybody send up hearts for Rebecca. Her mama passed away.
Oh, bless her heart.
So sad. Our hearts go up for you. I John and Momma from Cleveland, Ohio. Have you ever made cornbread salad? Oh, yeah. Maybe you have and I missed it. Karen, we got a video. In fact, I got two videos of it. I think I made it not long ago, didn't I?
It's been a long time, I think, since you really made it.
I reposted it, I know, a long time.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Been outside with Maggie. Thank you, Kathy, for the stars. Speaking of stars, we're going to spend some star money.
Thursday night.
Thank you for the stars. Thank you for those. We're going to spend some star money Thursday night, 6 o'clock. What we're going to do, we're having a cook-along, and we want to invite you all to cook along with us Thursday night. That's just 2 nights away. This is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So 6 o'clock, we'll be on here, Lord willing, live, and we're having breakfast for supper. That's what Mom and I are having. But we're going to do, the cook-along is going to be a 2-ingredient biscuit out of our cookbook on page 31. The 2 ingredients you need to prepare to get is self-rising flour and whole whipping cream.
You're going to have to go get your whipping cream if you do it, because you don't have no left here.
Are we out of whipping cream?
Mm-hmm.
Mom. I hope the store has it.
31.
I hope the store has it. I'll be going somewhere to find whipping cream. We've invited a bunch of people over to have biscuits.
I know it. You better be finding it.
On page 31 of our church cookbook, and here's the front of the church cookbook, it's 2-ingredient biscuits, 2 cups of self-rising flour, 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream. That's it. That's the whole list. Preheat oven to 475 degrees. Lightly cover bread pan with butter or shortening. Mix the 2 ingredients. Okay, you're going to need some butter or shortening to do your pan. Butter or shortening. Mix the 2 ingredients until blended good. Pour dough over a floured countertop. Gently pat it and roll out to about 1/2 inch thick. Cut out your biscuits. Place them in the pan and bake it for 10 to 12 minutes. That's a quick and easy something we can do live. And we'll be doing that. And Mama and I are planning on having milk gravy or cream gravy. We put evaporated milk in ours. I put about 1/2 can of evaporated milk and about 1/2 can's worth of water. And that's how we make ours. Put flour. You get the flour good and brown. Salt and pepper. Once it gets to just the right color, you pour that milk and water over it. Delicious. Some of y'all probably make it out of just water. Some of y'all make it out of sweet milk. You make that however you want to. And we're going to have some eggs and biscuits and gravy. And some sausage in the micro grill. Because it's easy and it's clean. And I don't want the splattage. If you don't use splattage, go ahead, use it. I like the word. Cindy Parker says something about in his nightgown. Yep. It's a night shirt with a night hat. You know, kind of like the guy wears in the Christmas story of The Night Before Christmas. When he throws open the shutters to see what was the matter or whatever. It says, I'm still having problems getting things at the grocery store. Kathy, we are too. Wee Willie Winkle runs through the town. Upstairs, downstairs, in his nightgown. That's right. That's what it is. It's reconnected. Thank goodness. Okay. Brenda Yeager, how are you today? Angela's got our address and someone must have asked about it. It is John Davis, P.O. Box 918, Jellicoe, Tennessee 37762. I turn this both ways because I know y'all tell me, different people say it was right that way. No, it was right the other way. I don't know. So there it is, John Davis, P.O. Box 918, Jellicoe, Tennessee 37762. I don't have, well, I might have. I don't know. John Davis, P.O. Box 918-37762. You can try it either way. It looks like I've got a new thing down here that I didn't used to have. It's a camera turning. But I'm not doing any more experiments tonight. I done messed us up. I done threw us off. So I might be able to touch that button right there and flip the camera. But I don't know if that'll flip the view or if that'll flip the picture.
So you're going to wait and do that?
Yeah, I ain't experimenting nothing else tonight. But now that little thing down there wasn't on the bottom. I don't think. No, I looked. Okay. So that is, thank you, Angela, for sharing that. And I will post below the link. Thank you, Carla. Carla says she loves splattage.
Splattage.
I have never made biscuits. I'm ready to get it and try. Cindy, you're the perfect candidate. Cindy Smith. Some of you all, Cindy, think you can't make biscuits. You can. I promise you. You all can make the complicated ones as 4 ingredients. The 2 ingredients will be simple and easy and be a good starter, and it'll help you build your confidence.
I'm just wondering how they'll be. They say they're good.
They say they're good. Mom and I've never made them, so we're all going to do it together. And that's one reason we wanted to pick this one, for 2 reasons. It's an easy recipe, few ingredients, and we can do it right here on live. The other reason is we want to inspire you. Stop saying I can't. Say I can. There are no failures. You either have a success or you have a lesson. And if you have a lesson, the next time you'll have a success. You can make biscuits. You all have seen us make them. You can make cornbread. There's nothing you can't cook. Every one of you all are excellent cooks. Maybe you just haven't practiced as much here lately. Maybe you've never practiced. But once you practice and you get your stuff down pat, you can cook. Biscuits are not hard. If you make them too tough, if you make them too hard, you've overworked your dough a little bit. You've not made them moist enough. With biscuits, you don't want to overlap that dough too many times. You want it maybe, 6 times or something like that, just to get them the right consistency, but yet they're pillow soft. But you don't want to work them and work them and work them.
I dipped mine out in my hand and rolled it up a little bit, and I don't work them none.
Mama don't even put hers on a cutting board. She stirs them in the bowl. She takes them and
flour in my hand and dip it out and roll it like this.
Yeah, exactly. She takes a spoon, puts it out in her hand, rolls it up, pats it, and lays it on there.
My daddy did it made biscuits that way, and my mommy, she always got out a dough board and a dough roller and took all that time and cut, and daddy'd have them in the oven time mommy'd have the stuff sitting out.
I go right down the middle with those ideas. I mix mine up in a bowl, I put it out on a flared surface, and I don't use a roller because that's just something else to wash. And I just fold them over a few times, work a little bit more flour in. Don't make them tough. And when they feel like a light pillow, but they don't stick into your hands, you're good. Add a little bit more flour to your hands. Pat them out good. I get mine about an inch and a half, depending. And then sometimes I'll make big biscuits. I hardly ever do I make big biscuits, though. Most of the time mine are just about a 2-inch cutter, 3-inch cutter, 2 or 3-inch cutters. About this big around. About just perfect. Mama likes them about medium. And I cut them out and put them on a pan. And then I take my hand and I pour about a tablespoon of buttermilk in there. And just drizzle them over and pat the tops of them. Make some good. Here's our biscuit cutters. Make some good and brown. Takes all that dry flour off. It gives them that golden beautifulness. I love it. So here is a set of biscuit cutters. They have them with a handle on them, but I didn't get those for storage. I like these because they store so well. That's all you have right there, and there is all the biscuit cutters. I have made these just for fun, and they make a little biscuit, and they're neat. This is the size I normally use when I'm cutting out biscuits, and that's about a 2.5-inch cutter. And they'll make a whole pan and they're good. This would be the next size up I might would use. occasionally.
Show
It's
them
about
the one
three.
you used the other week.
It's about a 3-inch ring. So I'll either use this one or the 3-inch. I guess I use the 3-inch more.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was that one, but it's this one. I used the third one up. This one here, I've never used it. But you might want to use it for something else. Now these, you can, this is another reason I didn't want the handles on them. You can turn these upside down in your skillets and fix those eggs just like the fast food places for biscuits. You pop your gallas, stir them around in there, and you'll have an egg just right for a biscuit or a sandwich.
My daddy fixed the cream can, and my mommy always had the cream can that she cut her biscuits with.
A lot of people use, that was what they had. That's kind of what this is mimicking. Yeah. It's just a can.
And he made some big ones the other week.
I made this the other week. Just for fun, because I'd heard somebody talking about cat heads, and I thought I'm going to make a few cat heads. The reason they used to call cat head biscuits, because they said it was as big as a cat's head. Mm-hmm. And so I made about 5 of these, and then I made Mama a few of these, just because Mama likes the smaller ones, because she says she can't eat a big one. I said, eat what you want of it. But 9 times out of 10, we use this little 3-inch ring right here. But this is a good ring set. It's on our Amazon link. It's stainless steel. I've never had any problems out of any of these. They hold their shape. They're not flimsy, but they're not hard, and they're not hard to store. And you can use them however you want to. You can even use this small one to cut dumplings out with. Dumplings don't have to be square. You can punch you out some of these. But you can use these for the eggs too. So you can turn these upside down. I guess you could turn them that way. An egg might come out of there, but it's got this thicker rim on the bottom. And you just put it in there, pop your yellow, stir it around a little bit. You don't have to scramble it in there even. And then you'll have a perfect egg for English muffin or a biscuit. And you'll think you're right there at your favorite fast food place. Folks, look at this mess now. Talk about pretty. Look at that cornbread mess.
Somebody ate an awful lot of it.
Somebody's eating a fourth of it. Mama, was that you?
No, I ate one piece of that.
Well, I only had one piece too, Mama.
One piece at a time.
Be like the little boy who ordered a pizza. And he said, don't cut it in 8 pieces. I don't think I can eat that much. Just cut it in 4. Oh.
That's pretty good.
Cookies too. Yeah, you can use them for cookies too. I seen a cookie thing, if you want to call it a hack or a procedure, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to try it maybe when cookies come back in season.
Oh, cookies are always in season.
They took a roll of cookie dough. Y'all might have seen this. They took several rolls of cookie doughs. And they took an apple core and they cut the roll of cookies in half, made them about that thick. They took an apple core and put down in it, and then they took the little pieces, and they had like a chocolate chip and a sugar cookie and another cookie, and they rolled it up and made one cookie with like 8 different flavors. Now, I don't think I'm interested in 8 different flavors in one cookie, but I do think that a chocolate chip sugar cookie combo cut in half would taste good. Or a snickerdoodle and maybe a chocolate cookie or something like that would be good. Or a praline cookie with caramel and salt.
Sounds like you're mixing a lot.
I mean, I'm just talking 2 halves. One cookie, 2 flavors, half and half. Now theirs was 1 cookie with 8 flavors. That sounds like a lot. I don't know if I want all those flavors. Mama's hilarious, one piece at a time. Yes, Brandy, she's hilarious. I have an old biscuit cutter. It has a red, has a red wooden top. We have some of those too. They're solid. They got the red top. Yes, we have those. They make good biscuits. I've used those a time or two. The only thing is, when I use a saw, I have to sometimes make sure my dough comes out. If you use a glass. Now, a lot of folks used to use a glass.
You have a little hole for the air.
You need a little air hole. Mama's going to do her Bring that whole thing over here, Mama.
I ain't got my cookie cutter.
This is some antique kitchen utensils that we have collected over time. Here's an old potato masher. Now that's an oldie, but a goodie. Look at that. Y'all, any of y'all got one of these or seen these? Are y'all frozen up again?
My cookie cutter ain't in there.
That's an old antique potato masher. Here's an old tea strainer. No, that's an oldie. See, the paint's coming off the handle. I don't know, that could even be lead paint for all I know. Who all knows what this is? This looks like something you use on a tractor instead of in the kitchen. This, does anyone know what this is? Hello from Cindy from Georgia. Well, hello Cindy from Georgia. Good evening, Norma. How are you? This you could use to mash potatoes or make rice or pasta. But it's a press, see? It's all the holes. You can put your potatoes in there or your rice and you push down and it'll come out these holes. Rice or mashed potatoes is one. Anything you want to mash. You can mash tomatoes in this, do just the juice. But it's just, you can see how it works. So that metal just goes down in there, punches it down. Mom, you bring the kitchen sink. I threatened to put this on the wall. Mama said, no, you don't put that on the wall. But it's an old-timey can opener. And it is mounted on the wall. And then you pull it around and you crank it. So, this one actually looks new. It's not being used a lot, but you crank it to open your cans. And then it has this little thing here that pulls the lid out for you. It goes in here somewhere like that.
Can't find my biscuit cutter. I've got the chopper and the egg beater.
Here's an old ladle with the red handle. And here's some old ladles that have the, and a spoon. It has the enamel. Some of it's cracked off. Here's another old, I love these old spoons. This is an old spoon. This is a whisk for making cakes or anything you want to mix. Now I use this one, I think it was this one. One time to beat up a cake just to see what it would be like. And it worked. I used it to mix some eggs too, and it worked. But that's dedication. Here's an old potato masher. These are things that we picked up at yard sales, and this might be the one I used. It was one of these two. It was not this one. This one looked way too intimidating. You put this down on a crock. This fits on a crock. You would set this down in a crock or bowl. But most of the time they use crock bowls in the kitchen. And then you would mix it. Got that sound, sorry. But now this little thing right here, I have used this for real. But the paint's chipped off from a little bit there now. It wasn't so chipped, I don't think. But you can tenderize meat with that, or cut something up, or use it just basically to tenderize some meat with. But Mama has got there is a biscuit cutter, just like you talked about. And you know, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it may be over in the drawer that we use because it was in fairly good shape. And it had that little little wooden handle on top. But this is just some stuff we keep over in the dining room to reminisce about. And sometimes people will see it and they'll say, oh, my grandma had one just like that, or we used to use that one. Now this is still in good enough shape. It could be used. And that handle is plastic. So this is probably not an older one. It's probably a remake. And here's another. This potato masher there is made out of the same stuff, so it probably would be safe to use. What are you digging up, Mom?
It's just old. Those scratched.
Oh, now this is a dough blender from back in the day, and you use this to make biscuits. Here's another potato masher. We're wealthy with potato mashers. Put that one in there. You would use this as a blending fork. You would put your butter in your flour, and then you would in your bowl, and you would mash it down like this, and keep rocking and mashing until you got your butter and your flour in pea-sized pieces. This old wash basin here, I love this. We've used it. We used to use it more. Used to use it with green beans in the garden, but
I got two smaller ones.
was afraid it would chip. But it's got some of these. I guess I can quit picking these up every time I see one of them at a yard sale. See, here's a little melon baller from way back in the day. Those aren't new concepts. They had them even back in the day. And here's a vegetable peeler. And then you had these little things, and these were to grind spices. You would put like a ginger or whatever you want in here, and you would grind it, and it would go through there, and you would grind up salt if you had chunks of salt. Look at this little bitty. I don't even know where I found this. This is a little chicken cookie cutter. How tiny. And here's an old vegetable peeler with a pop opener on the top. But it's just an old vegetable peeler. Here's an old wooden spoon. And Mom and I think this is homemade. I think that's been whittled by somebody for their wife. Look, they've kind of done a little design on it. That's not a store-bought spoon. This is something that probably there was a need for a spoon, and they probably couldn't afford one. And somebody whittled that. Either she whittled her out one or he whittled her out one. But that's an old homemade wooden spoon.
Here, you're holding on there for ours.
Mama, you're the one brought all this stuff over here.
Well, I was hunting my biscuit thing, and I still didn't find it. I don't know where it's at.
Well, Mama, it may be over here in this drawer for us to use because it was in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it might be down on that bottom drawer.
It might be. Come on over, Mama. Let's say goodbye since you're in a hurry. Mama's in a hurry.
Well, I don't want to wear the people out.
Mama says, hush, you've talked enough. She's right. We need to go. It's a nut chopper, yes. Patty, you could put nuts, nutmeg, you could put, yep. But you could also use it for different grinding of anything small like that. Because they would dry ginger and they would just dry different things like that, and then they could grind it up, make it into something they could sprinkle in their food. And then if they had chunks of salt, they'd have to even grind chunks of salt. Hi, John and Mama. Sorry, I'm late. Well, Connie, you can watch the redo, but we done lost one video tonight, Connie, and that was the mixing up of the cornbread and putting it in the pan. Facebook said, you've done messed this up so bad, we're going to delete it. So it just took my video.
Like your little friend flying around up there.
Mom, we've got a gnat in here. We've adopted it. We've just named it Maggie's brother because we can't get rid of it. Is that it?
Yeah.
Shoo, brother. Come on. I guess we might as well get used to gnats for the summer. Hey, Mama joke. Thank y'all for being with us and putting up with us. I know we're a lot to take in sometimes, especially when I mess the whole thing up. When I mess the whole thing up and get the video destroyed and everything. I'm just glad we got Facebook back and coffee time back. I was beginning to think I have destroyed the whole thing by switching microphones right here in the middle of the stream.
You don't do that no more.
No. All right, folks. We're going to say good night. We're going to say have a great day tomorrow. If you haven't planned on having a great day tomorrow, go ahead and make plans right now and just say, I'm going to have a good day tomorrow. Wake up with that on your heart and your mind. Thank the Lord for waking you up. Thank the Lord for the day and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the day. And it's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Okay.
Otherwise, we always
A
come.
couple of important announcements before I go. Mama, bear with me. I know. Number one announcement. We're having a cook-along Thursday night, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Eastern Tennessee time. We're going to be making a 2-ingredient biscuit. All you need is self-rising flour and heavy whipping cream. You'll need a little butter or a little grease for your pan, it said. So we just added that little ingredient in on the side. But for the actual thing, 2 ingredients. Self-rising flour and heavy whipping cream. The second important announcement. Did you all know? Did you realize we're springing forward Saturday night?
Is it this Saturday?
Mama didn't know. She if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't even know what time it was.
I don't really worry about the time.
This Saturday, we're springing forward. It's here already. We just fell backwards, seems like a month ago, and now we're springing forward already. So this Saturday, you all can choose what you want to do. If you want to get up at 2 a.m. and flip your clocks forward and go back to bed, that's your business. I do mine usually around 5 o'clock the day before and get used to it. And just say, well, we're going to go ahead and spring. Because, you know, you go through that period of time where you're saying, the old time it would be this, the new time it would be this. And, you know, we just do that. But we're going to get an extra hour of daylight. So come next Sunday, it should be daylight at 7:30 at night.
Woo-hoo.
It will be daylight almost.
We won't
to 8.
have no excuse for not getting some outside work done for them.
I'll start working on that excuse list right now. So this Saturday night, y'all spring forward. Okay? That's it, folks. We're going to say good night. Making some memories. Have a good night. And tomorrow, have a great day. And we'll be seeing you tomorrow, Lord willing. And we may cook tomorrow. I don't know.
Tomorrow, it'd be hard.
Tomorrow evening, we may do something. I don't know. So say good night, Mama.
Good night, Mama. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Spring is here, Jenny. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.